this is the pre-Horseman talk. This is the pre-talk before the real talk after reading the Horseman, because I didn't get the Horseman comic book yet. It's already been, I think, 9 or 10 days after the first fulfillment of the pre-order for the Horseman collection. And I ordered at the very end, the very last day. So I just got the email that the shipment is going to go out soon, probably tomorrow. And maybe I'll get it by this weekend or in a few more days. So I just wanted to share my thoughts about the Horseman, because as a fan, when you get into these characters or the new books, there is a sort of excitement towards it. It's not just, hey, there's a new book and let's go excited. It's more so about the world building, at least from my perspective, the world building of the Rippaverse, and how all these characters, they come into this world in some way, this Rippaverse comic book universe or world in some way. I want to share how I, as a fan, get so excited about these upcoming books, because there's a connection to them, right? And for me, just going back to when I first heard the Horseman, this is the post that Rippaverse pushed out on February 4th, talking about a new book from Chuck Dixon and Joe Bennett. They're the same. Chuck Dixon also wrote Alpha Core. Joe Bennett also illustrated that. So they did the Alpha Core book, which was great. So this was introduced in February 4th. Pre-order was going to start sometime this summer. And this was the first cover. A couple of things came to mind. I thought about, Batman, Spider-Man, right? Because of the whole Horseman character. But it's so ingrained in our culture already, at least for us Americans, when we think about Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, we don't think of, well, at least for like Batman and Spider-Man, we don't think of the animal or the insect, right? We think of a superhero character just almost instantly, because all the TV series and comic books for many that have read it growing up, that's what first comes to mind. But when I heard Horseman, I could only think of a horse. There's even another character, I think, that another writer pushed out called the Pigman, and I could only think of the pig, right? So I wasn't too excited about this. The cover looked awesome, of course. This was drawn by Kanan White, but yeah, I could only think of the horse. So I wasn't too excited about it. I didn't think much of it, but I did like the fact that the Rippaverse comic book universe was growing with more characters, because that's what's getting me excited about all this, right? With all the books that we get so far, like all these books, right? We got Isom, we got the villain in there, we got Saoirse from the Rippazine, we got Savage PI and another Rippazine here. We got Gooding. Gooding I didn't really care for at first when it was first introduced in Isom number 2, because I felt like he was just a glorified firefighter from where he was introduced in Isom number 2. But he's a tech genius, right? Rich guy. He's a techie. I'm a techie. So I like the character, so I like the book. And so I want to learn more about him now. So, just learning from that, I felt like, maybe the Horseman has something you just need to wait and see. But also the Yaira books, right? Villains in there, Alpha Core, right? All these things, all these characters, they're going to come together somehow, right? And how we know this, I talked to a fan once. Let me just show you this real quick. I talked to a fan once in our Rippaverse, our Facebook Rippaverse fans group. Go ahead and search that group, Rippaverse fans on Facebook, one of the Facebook groups. Lots of fans there. Come join us. We're talking about Rippaverse comics and characters every day on chat, on posts. So please join us if you're a fan. Join the conversation. But I talked to a fan once, and he thought that these books were just all very isolated in their own world, right? Yaira was only going to be about Yaira, or Alpha Core was only going to be Alpha Core. They're never going to connect, but they are. And we know that even from the beginning. This all goes back to Rippaverse Code of Ethics, and it's summarized here as the Rippaverse Ethics. But just like Eric said from the beginning, these are the set of codes that the Rippaverse is going to abide by. He thought this from the very beginning, Isom number 1, and he said this is always going to be on inside every book to remind us fans, and also to hold his company accountable on their goals and expectations in this comic book universe that he's building. So one of them was canon and continuity. So if you read here, it says, our aspirations extend far beyond having a couple of characters or series. A vast universe that is ever expanding is what we hope to accomplish. This is something that has long been intriguing about modern American comics, but it has become a lost art. The Rippaverse will fill this void. This means that every single book you buy will always matter. If retcons are to exist, they will only be used in the classic sense of introducing new information, but we want every book that you buy to always matter. The stories happen. So there's a timeline, right? There's no multi-universe or anything, right? These characters have a story, right? And he even said it, if a character is going to die, that character is going to die and that's it, right? There's no going back in the future, is going to come back alive just for happenstance. There might be stories in the past that might be shared. I can see that, but there's always a timeline, right? So every story matters, every book matters. And not only that, it's building a universe, right? So all these characters are gonna meet, and we see this already in Ice number 1, right? There was Ingrid Valdez and Michael Copper. They were in there. Those two were also in Alpha Corps. Alpha Corps was in Ice number 1. Alpha Corps is in their own books, and they still meet up with Yaira. Yaira meets up with Alpha Corps in the Yaira book, right? So with the Horsemen coming out, I knew this is going to expand even further. Either by chance in the Horsemen, we're going to probably see, in my opinion, probably going to see the Alpha Corps team. We might see Salvage PI or Saoirse. They're private investigators in the Rippaverse universe. So Horseman being a vigilante and going after the gangs, I can see the private investigators, Saoirse and Salvage PI, in that realm of doing private investigative work in the mob world and the gang world. So are they going to meet up with the Horsemen? I think so, right? So those are the type of expectations I have for the Horsemen going in to this series. That's what I'm expecting, some sort of connection with all the characters and this world building, and also knowing Horseman as a character, right? Hector Lee Caballero is his real name. And we already, even though there's a mask, we already have a full view of how he looks like. So this is Hector. This is the Horseman. This is him under the mask. This is a wallpaper you'll get if you're a Rippaverse member. So it's as low as $5 a month, guys. If you want to get into this, it's also going to fund the first animated series, The Horseman. That's going to feature Dean Cain as the voice. People already say, even the art already almost looks like Dean Cain. So this is Hector, right? So if we go to cover 8, we see a tough guy. He's ready to do business. But then we see this, and now he's like, okay, he's not immortal. He doesn't seem to have powers. And it's already been said by Eric, this is one of those characters that do not have exit powers. He's just military dude, I believe. But he's out for blood. Why? We don't know. We're gonna see that in the story. This is the type of stuff we get excited for. So not just from the first, we not only see the Horseman from the very first introduction or reveal of that character. Throughout the whole year and throughout the campaign, we see Rippaverse share many other pictures. I would assume panels from the comic book. So these are the two characters that was in the trailer. We got Tuna right there sitting down. So these are the mobsters. So Horseman is gonna, meet them. But there's other panels here. So this is the cover, I believe cover C, done by Will Conrad. So this is one of the full and embossed pictures, the covers. Here's another one. I assume that these are panels. So this is the Horseman going into a fight with a gang, and he's not afraid to go in with rocket launchers coming at him. So this is getting a lot more exciting than just seeing some guy with a few sticks, right? These are definitely in the book. These are actually, I saw these in the Rippazine. If you have Rippazine number 2, the very first, very few pages of the Horseman is in here, right? In the back. And Rippazine 1, number 2, they have previews of the book, so you don't have to get the books first, but these are like $7. This is the collector's edition, so it's a little bit more. But $7 free if you're a Rippaverse member, but you get to see a preview of the books even before they release. So I got to see the Horsemen in Ripazine number 2, the first few pages of this scene, I believe they're fighting on top of a train. That was a good scene. That was a good scene. I actually got more excited about the Horsemen after seeing the trailer. Let me show you what I mean. This is exactly what got me so much more excited about the Horsemen as a character, because now I know what to expect. More action, more fighting, more just downright mayhem. Take a look. There's a bunch of guys now, and watch what happens. Outman. Outgun. This is brutal, man. Like, he doesn't care. I mean, I can only assume that those are bad guys, right? So maybe they deserve it, but I don't know, you know? So, but he's out to get these guys. And from that scene done by Rippaverse Studios, I like the trailers because it gives you a little glimpse of the type of characters that these characters are going to be in the book. It helps a lot. So I got a lot more excited about the Horsemen after watching this. And so I was gung-ho after that. And then seeing all the other panels and previews as the Horsemen collection came to an end, that was just awesome. Here's a few pictures, right? So this is, I believe, Horseman in his suit from maybe from before. What's interesting, right? You see the Horseman here. Look at his shotgun. Look at the two, I don't know what you call them, batons or sticks. Then he has a crowbar, right? I think there's another scene here. Right, so there's swords. He's using any and everything in his toolbox to just beat down these guys. And here's another one. I'm sure this is a big panel in the comics, but he's at a bar. Well, I don't think, no, he's not at a bar. He's at a warehouse. They're counting money, probably doing drugs, not too sure. But he goes in there and beats them up. This kind of reminds me of, I was thinking about this. This kind of reminds me of the Daredevil scene with Ben Affleck, the very first one where at the bar scene. So let me show you that. So again, there's the Daredevil. There's a lot of guys, and he's just going after each one, taking them down. Bullets are flying. He's going all over the place. This is kind of what I imagine the Horseman, if in real life or in a TV series, this is how he's going to be. And as you can see there, right, he's not susceptible to getting hit. So I can see the Horseman getting bruised up, getting beaten up a little bit, but he doesn't stop, just like the Daredevil. Again, bullets flying around, doesn't care, still goes after people. And then towards the end, it's just everybody in the club or the bar is down. The only person standing is the Daredevil. So this is what I see for the Horsemen as well. Here's the other picture with the poster, the Spot UV poster, special one. That looks like the bar. That almost looks like what I just showed you with the Daredevil bar scene. But yeah, see, bullets are coming. He doesn't care. He just goes, I don't know if some of his stuff is bulletproof, but he is not afraid. It's almost like, I'm thinking like he's almost like he wants to take care of all the bad people, the gangs, and he doesn't care for his life. I wonder if he's looking for a way out. And I wonder if he wants to go out with, we're just doing something with his life. And if he's going to die, he's going to die. I think he's already accepted that he's going to die. And before that, he's going to do all he can to make the world just a little bit better. I don't know. Does he have another goal in mind? But yeah, that's just, I don't know. We'll have to see, right? We'll have to see what the Horseman says. So again, this is the pre-Horseman talk, the talk before the talk, after reading the Horseman. So I'll get my book soon. I'll share my review. I'm excited. Excited a lot more after seeing all these different previews of the panels, the posters, the animated series. The Rippaverse is just doing so good, man. Rippaverse Studios, the Ripazine with the previews, interviews, the newsletters, and the website. You gotta check out all that. It's not just Eric. Again, take it from me as a fan watching the Rippaverse grow. It's not just about Eric July now, right? In terms of sharing his love for comics and world building with the Rippaverse comics. Andrew, the Saska sisters, even the writers, Chuck Dixon, all the other artists, Joe Bennett, Will Conrad, they are excited and talking about the Rippaverse comics and characters in their own way. And you get a bit of information and reviews from them if you pay attention to either their social media posts, their YouTube videos, their responses on the X and Instagram. If you pay attention, there's a lot more information you can get from the Saska sisters and maybe Andrew and Chuck Dixon than you can get from Eric July himself. I'll tell you that. So don't forget to follow their social media accounts because you'll get a preview of what's to come. And sometimes even the Saska sisters are not shy to say, hey, this looks intriguing. And then you got, NDA Andrew on the side holding up his sign saying, hey, watch it. Don't reveal anymore. So this is exciting. So if you haven't gotten the book, get it. It's still on sale even after the collection pre-order is done. If you already read the book, let me know. From what I've been sharing about the Horsemen, some of the things, am I right? Are we seeing Salvage PI in there? Well, don't tell me because I don't want to know yet. But just give me a few hints. Let me know. It's like, hey, Alvin, you're a little bit right there, and just leave it at that. So again, this is the pre-talk before the real talk, the Horsemen, and I'll catch you later.